Hi.
Welcome to stayfhomekins.
How's everyone doing out there?
Hey, how's everyone doing? And don't say the bullshit that you say to other people. Tell us the real thing.
I hope everyone's doing okay.
I hope that too. Don't throw me under the bus like I don't.
Anyway, I'm Janie Tompkins.
Anyway, I'm Paul F. Tompkins.
And we're your co-hosts. Hosts? Are we co-hosts? Hosts?
We're co-hosts.
Okay.
Yeah. Through life, honey.
Yes, he's a comedian.
She's an actor.
Yes, we're married. This is our podcast. Okay, what's up?
Honey, can I tell you something? We had corn on the cob for dinner.
Oh, my God.
Folks.
It was so good.
Anyone within the sound of my voice, if you have access to corn on the cob, get at it.
It's so good.
Now is the time. It's the taste of summer.
It's the taste of summer. It's the taste of summer.
Yeah. It made me feel like I was outside.
We don't go outside, but...
No, but our house is full of bugs.
Stuck. We're stuck inside.
Do you know what's funny is that we have been seeing the odd person occasionally for a distance visit.
Yeah.
Where we sit, 6 to...
whatever,
40 feet apart. And what we've noticed, because we never really we have this tiny little postage stamp backyard.
Yeah.
And we never spent time out there before.
No, I don't like to be outside.
Now you
I like nature, but I don't like to be outside.
We met after you graduated from Miss Peregrine's Home for Unusual Children, right?
I don't know that reference, but yes. Wait, can I
don't even think I got the title right.
Do you know what I noticed about some people in the pandemic?
Ooh, I like this.
Some people, when they come for distance hangs, don't raise their conversation voice.
That's true.
Some people yell like me. Like I yell. I'm like, oh my God.
You're yelling all the time.
Like, don't use your inside voice.
Yeah.
Use your outside voice.
Yeah.
That's what
I think that some people surprise you. We have a friend who speaks very quietly, but then he brought it when it was time to social distance.
I know.
I was like, good for you. Bravo, old friend.
I know.
I thought this was going to be tricky, but it wasn't.
Tough. Yeah, tough.
But so we're outside in our little tiny backyard, but
we're lucky we have a yard too.
We're extremely lucky. And we've gone back and forth on, this is a little sidebar, about making it more green, more eco-friendly, and like
have we really gone back
more
and forth?
drought-friendly.
Have we gone back and forth on it? Or
yeah,
did
you go back and
down?
I go forth and say no.
Yeah, that's the...
Here's the thing.
He lays down the law, y'all. He lays it down.
Yeah, I'll say I have spoken, and then Janie knows.
Basically,
that's it.
I get
That's
it.
That's not true.
I get it. He wears the pants in the family.
That is not true.
He wears the pants in the family.
If that were true, I'd have that flagpole.
Oh God, let's not.
That's a tale for another time.
That's another episode.
That's a very special episode.
I did not.
We'll devote a whole hour
about the
to
goddamn flagpole.
Yeah,
the fucking flagpole.
As I like.
To
you
call
upgraded from goddamn to fucking.
Fucking flagpole. All right, keep going.
So a thing we didn't realize is that our backyard is very buggy. It's not that big. There's not that much out there.
No, we had to fish out the deep woods off.
Yeah, man. And let me tell you something. That was not part of the brochure when I moved to Los Angeles. There were no mosquitoes. A mosquito did not touch me for 20 years.
Climate change, my friend.
Yeah. You know,
climate
and
change.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
We are friends. When I tell people I feel like I married my good friend.
Oh, God. Y'all, okay.
What if people did that instead of saying best friend?
One of my good friends.
I feel like I married my close work friend.
Okay, y'all. When people online, I know this is terrible and judgmental, and I'm sorry. But I'm going to let it all hang out. When people say online they married their best friend, that's not true for me because I didn't marry my best friend. You know what I mean?
We talked about this.
Like I didn't marry my. Oh, you did?
You know I have this podcast.
Wait, I've heard of it? Is it good? Should I listen to it?
I think it's good. I think you would like it if you ever listen to it.
It's behind a paywall, though, right? Why should I listen to it?
I'll loan you my login.
Why should I listen to it when I could like be in the presence of you and Scott and Lauren? I'd rather that.
It's not the same. Well, also guess what? You can't now.
Also, y'all teased that whole thing where your spouses were going to take over and host an episode.
Honey, we never...
And you know what? It was a fucking lie.
It's just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it'll never happen.
Okay. Anyway, y'all talked on Freedom about marrying your best friend, and I want to know what Scott and Lauren said.
We all agreed that that's not true. Because we all have separate best friends.
Right?
But it is...
It's fine if you say... I get that it's like a nice sentiment.
Well, the thing is, I mean, I don't completely disagree with it because your spouse is your default best friend.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you tell your spouse things. You tell your spouse everything. And
really?
Yeah.
You sure about that? I know I tell you everything because your eyes glaze over in boredom occasionally.
Well, you don't like to leave out details is the thing.
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong
with that?
There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes it comes in very handy.
And you don't like to include details. And then when I find out a missing detail, it is like, how could you not mention whatever? You know what I mean? Like, how did you not mention there were crumbs on his shirt? Like, that's like everything. This is an example. It's an example.
I'm trying to think of a story where that would be an important detail.
I'm not saying
like maybe a Sherlock Holmes story
because of psychology. Like if you want to get in the heads of the people that you're.
I understand. Your main issue with me is that I forget to tell you a thing. That
I can't, y'all. Oof. Yes. Continue.
Well, why don't you continue?
No, I want you to tell it. I want you to tell it in your neutral.
I will have a thing maybe coming up, like a work thing or a social thing that I haven't mentioned to Janie. This was the origin of the shared calendar, so that you could always see that the other person has a thing.
And then he throws that in my face all the time. It's on the calendar. You didn't look at the damn calendar?
Well, what am I supposed to do?
I was like, I thought it was a supplement and not the primary. Go on.
But here, the thing is, our brains work differently.
Sure. Men are from Mars and women are from Venus.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
But I think it's literally
true.
I
really am. I'm an alien.
What? Oh, fuck.
You know that unsolved mystery
I knew these were
I talked about?
Yeah. Seems pretty solved now.
I was there.
But you were one of the aliens.
One of the aliens.
You weren't abducted. You were one of the
aliens. Was up top. I was up top.
Up top. Up top.
Up top, baby.
You know what? That's what I would do if I met an alien. I would try to high five him. As soon as I saw him, I'd be like, up top.
Wait, go on with your complaint about me. This is one of the things that drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Is, okay, I don't know if y'all have this, like if you're in a relationship or whatever, and one of you
and your spouse is great, so you have to look for excuses to be upset.
God, I'm going to like pee my pants. Wait a minute. That really was funny, what you just said. No, so like maybe one of you is amazing with details and maybe one of you is not, okay? Maybe that happens. And then you'll be like out somewhere and you'll bump into someone and they'll be like, oh my God, are y'all coming to the movie night on Friday? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, and then I'll be like caught with my pants down. And I'll be like,
because you're in a changing room at a store.
What do you mean? I'm always buying pants.
I
love pants. And then I'm like, what? Movie night? What are you talking about? Oh, I sent Paul a thing. I sent him an elaborate paperless post with lots of design and lots of information and
lots of design.
I paid for it. I used coins. I got
my God.
I got the paperless post
Hold on a
coins.
second. Let me just call bullshit on the story very quickly. If someone used coins on a paperless post, I would never keep that from you.
Bullshit. Bullshit. And then I'll be like, huh? And then I have to like stew in it for the afternoon and then come home and be like, did Lauren send you a paper?
You have to stew in it for the afternoon.
And I'm like, so did Lauren send you a paperless post inviting us to movie night? And he'll be like, oh yeah, I think so. I forgot about it. It's like that.
Number one.
It's like that.
Number one.
First of all, never send it to the husband.
Don't do first of all. I did number one.
Send it to the wife.
I was just going
Okay,
I was just going to say.
Go on.
First of all,
go on.
Be mad at Lauren for not including you on the paperless post.
Well, by the way, Lauren would never. But go on.
If we're talking about the same Lauren, I agree.
Yeah.
Number two.
She knows how to do shit.
Number two, you're making it sound like I'm fucking Brad Pitt from True Romance and I'm smoking pot out of a fucking honey bear bottle. I'm like...
No, it's worse because you appear high functioning.
I have a million things occupying my brain all the time.
This is how it is. He has a million things. So it's like, okay, fine. So bypass him, come straight to the source.
Yeah. Another reason for you not to be mad at me.
I'm just saying, like, we've gotten it a little more sorted.
Yes. And now I can't throw it in your face about the
never
calendar.
get another paperless post again.
What?
Unless it's for a Zoom.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I thought you meant like we've been ostracized.
No, because there's no socializing.
Take them out of the paperless post tree.
There's no socializing. Also, okay, so my friend Joel, this is like my favorite gag ever. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, it's really good. I do know what you're talking about. It's really good.
He sent me an Evite. And
this is like when Evite was new too, yeah. Right?
I think it would be even better if it was today and you spent coins on a paperless
because there's the animation, like it comes out of the envelope.
It comes out of the envelope.
Yeah.
Okay. He sent me an Evite and invited me to go fuck myself, and I was the only one on the card.
Joel Spence invites you to go fuck yourself. Attendees 1.
Yeah, isn't that was pretty good?
That was funny.
That was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. Funny?
Funny. When a friend is funny, it's
when
funny.
A funny?
Yeah.
Funny?
Yeah, funny.
Yeah.
You keep saying it. It's like reminding me of 6 Feet Under when Peter Krause has the stroke.
I didn't
just
watch.
Going, narm.
I didn't watch 6 Feet Under.
Can I tell you something?
I watched like the last one.
I know.
My friend was on it.
Your friend was in it.
Yeah.
That show, which, by the way, to watch that's the one episode of the show you see.
What's crazy was the finale actually did make me cry. And I didn't know these people at all. I was like, oh my God. It's like, I hope I'm not spoiling. Well, I won't say what it is. The finale is great.
I watched all of that show and I realized I didn't really like it because
I know, it's so weird. It's a grim show. I mean, it's about.
Well, it's unpleasant. It's like, and I know why people do like it. I'm not saying that it's not a quality issue. It honestly
it's like
is
an existential.
It's a taste issue.
Yeah.
And to see a dysfunctional family where everyone seems to be miserable all of the time with no let up. Mm-hmm. And I watched it for 6 years, and then my feeling when it was done was like, oh, thank God I'm released. I don't have to watch this anymore. I was watching. No one was making me watch it.
I don't mind watching a dysfunctional family because, like, I watch Succession, and that is like a really messed up show.
Yes, but
that's just messed up.
That tone is a little bit lighter.
Well, and also like it's not relatable because like no one. I mean, unless I guess you're like a billionaire. Do you think billionaires watch Succession?
That would be
billionaires
fucking
watch
hilarious
Succession?
if billionaires are watching that show saying, oh my God, that's me.
It's like kind of modeled after the Murdochs.
Yes, with a little soupçon of Trump.
A little. Season 2, they've hit us over the head with it.
A little. Come on, Succession. I get it. Where do you think I live? East Jabip?
What does that even mean?
East Jabip is the same as BFE.
Oh, bumfuck Egypt?
Yeah, which I heard somebody say on a TV show
Are we allowed to
recently.
say BFE now?
Probably not. We probably never should have said it.
Really? I like BFE. Is it like saying it's a shithole?
Yeah, it's
I think you're just saying it's far away.
It is saying, that's the idea.
It's far away.
Is you're saying, I grew up with East Jabip.
That sounds...
Some people say bumfuck.
I say bumfuck. I say bumfuck.
And bumfuck Egypt I'd never heard until I met you. BFE.
What?
Yeah. Honey, it's regional.
Oh, it is?
We grew up in different regions, yes.
Okay.
What do you
Okay.
mean it is. Like, it's not a... Actually, like, it's a real place. Everyone knows bumfuck Egypt.
Fuck Egypt. Speaking of... So...
I want to hear if anyone has ones that they grew up with that are different than the ones we grew up with. I would like to hear them. I always like stuff like that. Little regional things.
So do I. I like it too.
Yeah.
We've been getting great emails and tweets
Yes,
and
yes,
Instas, and we love them. And people, what's happening? The world is crazy right now.
Honey,
Wait,
I tend to agree.
I was like, oh, so I was gonna maybe tell the story about because we were listening to my playlist. I DJ. That's a really generous term. I run the music in the house.
Mm-hmm.
I'm typically the one sort of driving.
You get there before me.
Listen.
We do have a sort of unspoken rule that whoever starts it first is in charge of the music.
But I'm frequently starting at first because
Yes.
I'm the one who likes to listen to music more, which is weird because you're more musical.
Isn't that funny?
So what's up with that?
Oh,
Cuckoo.
I don't know, honey. I think it's just cuckoo.
Cuckoo.
Cuckoo always comes out at the right time.
Okay, so at the beginning of the pandemic,
Yeah.
this woman I know who I met in 1992 on my very first paid theatrical gig, which I'll tell you about in a minute because it's like literally the most unglamorous thing you've ever heard of in your entire life.
It's pretty wild.
It's
pretty wild.
But like, listen, I was like, when I was 19, I did so many jobs. You don't even know.
You don't even know.
I mean, how dare you? I still kind of like juggle a bunch of jobs. They just don't pay any money. Anyway, so my roommate for this summer theater job,
STJ.
It was not Williamstown Theater. It was not. It was like, just imagine the opposite, because I'll tell you about it in a second. So she, I guess, like at the time, I had put together a mixed tape.
Mixed tape.
What did you think it was? What did you think it was?
It's mixtape.
That's what I said.
You said mixed tape.
It's a mixed tape.
No, it's not. It's a mixtape.
No, it's a mixed tape.
No. Honey, I promise you.
No, I swear to God, there's like a movie called Mixed Tape.
What? No, there is not.
What? I don't know what's happening right now, but
I have to look it up.
It's mixed tape. It's a mixed tape.
Oh my God!
Did y'all not make
killing me?
Mixed tapes? Maybe our younger listeners burned mixed CDs, CD mixes. Any hoozles? So I made her mixed tape in 1992.
It's mixtape. Look, Wikipedia. It's mixtape. No one ever said mixed tape. I shall make you a mixed tape. It will be thematic. The first side will show you the depths of my musings. The second side shall be lighter in tone. Mixed.
All right, y'all. Fine. I made her a mixtape. A mixtape. A mixtape. Fine. Fine. So I made her a mixtape. I probably made a mixtape for the whole damn cast. I probably went to the damn hardware store.
You mean like what? Like the same tape for everybody, or everyone got an individual tape?
A good question, because it would have had to have been. Well, anyway, I had 2 roommates. I probably made one for each roommate.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I made it for her. Y'all, I did not remember making this mixtape. So the pandemic starts, and we're friends on like Facebook, but this is someone, that lives somewhere else. Like, I haven't seen this person since 1992. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We just have this common summer.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. And she's a really sweet lady. Mm-hmm. And she reached out to me on Facebook right when the pandemic started. And she was like, I need your address because I want to send you something. And I was like, oh, okay. And I'm thinking like a sweet card or, like hope you're coping, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I get this box in the mail, and she had gone through the trouble of taking the mixtape that I made in 1992. And she's like a mom, she got someone to make it, like to burn it, like to take the mixtape and transfer it, to a CD. Mm-hmm. And wrote me like this, like insanely touching note about how I made her this mixtape. She listened to it in the car, like over the years. And, it always made it.
Oh, and the cover was like pictures from that time.
I had put together like a collage.
Oh, that was the original cover, or that was just an additional
Oh, well,
thing?
now that's a good question. Now
Thank
I'm
you.
like questioning whether I had cut out pictures and taped them to the
There are a lot of pictures of you, so maybe not. That would be a little
bizarro.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, there were pictures of us from that summer, like on the cover, and this incredibly nice note. And I was like, I was so eager to like take this walk down, like what was this mixtape I made? Like what was my CD collection in 1992? Because like you couldn't go online and like pick songs. Like you had you had to curate it from your own collection, and and so I put together. So I burned it off, or like I recreated it, mimicked it, I should say, in the order and everything.
Yes. Yeah.
And it wasn't horrible.
No, it was good.
It's pretty good. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I was 19.
It's very eclectic. There's a lot of interesting stuff on there.
Yeah, it was super eclectic. Like, I was 19, so like I could only buy CDs that I could afford from my summer job or my school job, college job, or whatever. So anyway, this crazy. So the thing was, I was like in school at the University of South Carolina, and I went and auditioned for these outdoor theater shows. There are these things I didn't know about that they do, like mostly in the Midwest, some in the South, but all up and down the Eastern Seaboard, I guess, that are called outdoor historical dramas. And they're like these recreations of, I don't know, things in history.
Different moments of history.
I don't know anything about anything. Okay. Yeah. Like I was like,
just moments of American greatness.
I just like what I wanted to do was like maybe earn points for my union card, or, you know what I mean? Like, so I auditioned for this thing and I got in it. I had one line. Okay. My entire line was, why, yes, I do. Because I'm like marrying like this frontiersman who at the time was like, he must have been in his 40s, but I was 19, so he seemed in his 60s or something. You know what I'm saying? the frontiersman guy. He's
Yeah.
like a real guy. By the way, I retained nothing.
Oh no, he was a real person from history. This person you were
Yes.
supposed to be. Okay.
Yes. And I don't know anything about, like, I retained nothing except for, why, yes, I do. Like, that's it. And basically, like, everyone lives in Ohio in this tiny town called Chillicothe, and in these cabins together for the entire summer. And they do this show every night. I think I got like $100. I don't know.
It's
a
called
week.
Tecumseh.
It's called Tecumseh. It's
Yeah.
about Tecumseh, the
Native American.
Native American warrior person. See, I didn't know any of the. I was busy
The
making.
great chief Tecumseh.
Oh yes, that's sort of yes. And there's like fights, and there's like horses and like fake rifles and stuff, and
Yeah.
so
It's a spectacle.
it's like a spectacle with like a promontory, and people flip off of it onto like hidden mattresses and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's
It's like the
a
Universal
pond.
Studios.
There might be like pyrotechnics involved. Like I was so checked out
It's
of
like the Waterworld stunt show.
seriously
of its day.
so checked out of like the actual show
Mm-hmm.
that I was just there for the experience. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
Like I was there to like drink underage around the campfire and like get up into some trouble, y'all. And so what I didn't know until
Y'all, them girls gonna get in trouble in the woods of Chillicothe tonight.
so this whole thing is like this well-oiled machine that's, I guess, has probably been going on since the 60s or 70s. Like it became popular probably in the 60s or 70s. I'm thinking
I mean,
like that
I would
whole,
even imagine the 50s. Like it seems
like the culture of that,
Yes,
of those
yes,
outdoor
yes.
drives. And like,
Absolutely.
and then like if you had a night off, like you'd go like 40-minute drive to the other outdoor Blue Jacket. And then you might like, you know,
What's Blue Jacket?
that's another Native American figure in history.
Oh, I've never heard of him. Or her.
So we were like, we were like, you know, like rivals. Like you might
Yeah.
be like, we're gonna go check out the Blue Jacket. We're gonna check out the Blue Jacket setup, and then like you might get drunk there and puke on
We're
their
going to sabotage their offstage mattresses.
cabins or whatever. Anyway, I thought this was like the funnest thing that has ever happened to me. So like I drove up there with all my stuff and my CDs, I guess, because I made mixtapes, and so I get there and I find out that my character dies at the end of Act 1.
Ooh.
Which is fine. I don't have to die on, like they just reference her like she done died or whatever.
But Mary didn't make it through that winter.
It was like stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we were all like half of us were like these theater, like college theater students, and we would like, you know, put on little like staged readings up in the you know, campsite and
Right.
stuff like
Right,
that.
right.
Like we were just like these
For yourselves.
theater, yes,
Yeah.
for ourselves.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
we
yeah.
were these like theater nerds, and we were, you know, all in college. Well, not all of us were in college, but the college group was in college, and and we were just like whatever. And so I guess like for the battle scenes, I found this out when I got there. For the battle scenes, if you are dead or not in Act 2, you had to don the Native American garb
Mm-hmm.
in order to fill the choreography.
Yeah.
Okay. And this involved like covering yourself in brown face, every exposure.
It was called Black Egyptian, right?
Okay, so the makeup, yeah, so I'll
Yeah.
get to that. So there's this makeup called Black Egyptian, and you rub it all over your body. So like you know, your chest, your arms, your ankles, your face, like
Anything that shows.
anything that shows and is white as fucking snow. And then you stick on like this Cher wig, and then you go out and you like, you know, like yell at like, yeah, la, la. That's wrong. Wrong culture. My culture.
God. Yeah,
Wrong
that's
culture.
right.
Well, whatever. Like whatever we did for Tecumseh.
yeah.
Like in the sign language and the
Right.
this and the that.
Which I'm sure was so accurate.
It was so cheesy and it was so cheesy. But anyway, so whatever. Like I had stuff to do in Act 2. I think I had to shoot a rifle at some point with the black powder that you stuff down in there, blah blah blah. Well, if you were one of the background actors as a Native American versus a white man or woman. Because we shared, there was only one.
You're talking about now after the show.
After the show. Because we shared a bathroom. There was like a women's bathroom and a man's bathroom. And there were like 3 showers for the entire company or something like that.
And how many people are we talking about?
Probably like 30 people.
Yeah.
40
And
people.
these are like campground showers.
Campground.
It's like a cabin with shower heads
There's
in it.
no bathroom connected to your own cabin. Like if you went to the
Right.
bathroom in the middle of the night, you're walking outside and like putting on flip-flops.
Yeah, no deal.
Yeah. I liked it. I was 19. And so because there were like 2 showers or 3 showers in the women's and same in the men's, and there's more men. But basically like the Native American company got to shower first because you were like you had to
it took longer
to clean off the
Yeah.
Black Egyptian
Yeah.
makeup, the Ben Nye or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Nye, was that the name of that makeup guy? Ben Nye, right?
That sounds familiar.
The Ben Nye Black Egyptian. You had to like scrub it off of your body in the shower, and the water, like there wasn't enough hot water.
Yeah.
There just like wasn't enough.
Yeah.
So like all over the bathrooms and stuff, there were these signs that said "Whites shower last." Okay. And so my mom and stepdad came to visit me. My stepdad went to the bathroom, and I'm showing him like my cabin and like the mess cabin and in the camp the campfire and all the stuff, and like the senior people, like this guy Bruce who played my frontier husband, he was there for like 30-40 years. He played the same part, and he had his own trailer, and like we party in his and one night like he showed porn to a bunch of us, and I was like yeah, pass me the joint. I'm watching this.
You never told me this.
Well, like we were all like, it was like dirty and rugged and rough.
Yeah,
and
I'll say.
I was fine with
You
it.
never. I can't believe this is the time. On a microphone.
I just like
that
really
you're telling me this part of it.
Well, okay, so
I've heard every other aspect of this story 1,000,000 times.
that's where I learned about squirting. I didn't know about like a thing. They had like this worn out tape, and they were like showing it.
It was this one creep at it.
No, it was a bunch of the older guys. The older
okay.
guys. And he had like a bar set up, like a tiki bar inside the. Anyway.
Oh my god, this guy sounds horrible.
Whatever, y'all. I don't care. I'm whatever. And so, I live and let live. I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
Yeah.
I was there to be.
Honey, I get
a bohemian.
I
Get
it. You're
I had a
doing
boyfriend that summer anyway, which
Okay.
which coincidentally, I'll get to that in a minute. Paul shot a show with him, but whatever. That's like a whole other story. So anyway, so my stepdad came. My mom and stepdad. My stepdad, he's no longer alive, but he was this like from the deep south, like Mobile, Alabama. Like.
Grew up during the civil rights struggle.
During the civil
in the
rights
60s.
movement, he saw Malcolm
He was
X
like a young man. Yeah.
speak. He had listed that as like one of the most influential moments of his entire life. Like kind of hippy dippy, but then yuppie, like every other boomer you fucking know. And then he could not stop laughing. He came out of the bathroom and he like couldn't catch his breath. And we were like, Bill, what's wrong? What's wrong? And he was like, whites shower last.
He loved
He
it.
loved it because he grew up in Mobile in the fucking 60s where like
He saw
they
the opposite of those
segregation
signs.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he was like, that is like some poetic justice. Like he just thought it was like poetic justice. And I was like, well, yeah, like because we have to, we have to clean off the Black Egyptian or whatever. And but here's a fun fact about slathering Black Egyptian over your entire body for 3 solid months.
Yeah.
For 4 months following my fall semester back at University of South Carolina. Probably was at my sophomore year or whatever it was, or my sophomore junior year. I would sweat black Egyptian into my white bras. Like it would seep out of. I probably have like exposed myself to some cancerous whatever, but like anyway. So my boyfriend that summer, I was gonna say, just like full circle, like you shot that weird sketch show that he was on.
Yes,
where you were
but
like
we never met.
I know, but isn't that weird?
It is weird.
Did you find that weird?
Here's what else
He's like
is
a
weird.
New York actor, whatever.
We got to take a break.
Here's a question. What do you do when your boyfriend's mother is poisoning you? Or when your Airbnb host dies? How do you tell your cousin her husband is on Tinder during the pandemic? Or make a perfect cup of coffee? Ask Rana and Brian. Every Tuesday, Rana Glickman and Brian Safi of Throwing Shade podcast fame bring you a fresh advice podcast straight from the Carriage House in Marblehead, Massachusetts. Okay, that's not a good accent, but I tried. With all the answers to life's big problems, big and small, ask Rana with Rana and Brian. Rana and Brian and a special guest take your questions and give thoughtful, hilarious, and heartfelt advice. Guests include Lacey Mosley, Brandon Kyle Goodman, Ellie Kemper, Paula F. Tompkins, Carl Tart, Lauren Lapkus, Mike Shore, Trixie Mattel, and yours truly. New episodes every Tuesday wherever you find your podcasts. And yes, we do not miss an episode in this household. So check them out. I think you'll love it.
3.
I just started.
Are we doing it?
Yeah, all night. He's been like counting.
Let me ask you very quickly,
counting
because I want to tell a story.
Yes.
How did you feel about putting that makeup on? Did it feel weird to you at the time?
I was like 19. It was the 90s. This was this long running show. I don't think I would like. It was a different time in terms of like levels of wokeness or whatever.
For sure, yeah. Like
there was no internet.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was no like someone's going to,
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about I'm talking about how you look at it now and how you looked at it then. Like, did it even occur to you that it was a strange thing to be doing then?
I feel like I didn't have enough power in the situation to even have rendered an opinion. Like I was an outsider coming into this thing, and there was like a Native American in the show and like,
right.
I
didn't know that.
Are you like talking about like the wokeness? You're talking about the wokeness of like putting on brown face.
I'm saying looking
like at the time, like
I'm asking you, did it ever feel weird at the time that you were doing that? Did it seem strange in a
social context way? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
I was so like, no, because it didn't. Because there were like 25 other people doing it. Yeah. And this is how it was done.
Absolutely.
And it had like, and it wasn't a time where, people were being called out for insensitivity.
Well, no, and of course, and it did not feel like you weren't doing like a minstrelsy kind of thing. You weren't making fun of Native Americans.
Oh God, no. God, no.
Because here's the thing.
No, it was more like, no. This was like, this was a reverent, this show was not about.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Here's the reason I bring it up is because, I was on a show called Mr. Show on HBO.
Yeah. I've heard of it.
Which was a.
Heard of it, but never seen it.
That's right.
Paul wouldn't let me watch.
But it was a. What do you mean I wouldn't let? See, here's the thing.
You told me not to watch.
Say no. When you say I won't let you watch something, what that means is I don't want to watch it with you. If you want to watch that, go ahead.
No, but
I don't want us to have to watch it together.
But you were never like you'd be like, you're fine. That's how you were. Your attitude was about it. I'm like, everyone always knows this Mr. Show thing, and they're always telling me Mr. Show this and Mr. Show that.
I don't think I ever said, you're fine. I think if you want to watch it, you can watch it.
Well, now it's out, right? The original?
Yeah, I think it's on HBO Max.
You know what? I might watch it.
There you go. Anyway,
Sorry.
So there was a sketch that I was a part of on that show.
Yeah.
Where I wore yellow face.
Okay.
The sketch was, and here's where it's like, okay, the sketch was, it starts out being a parody of those scenes you see in rom-coms where like, it's like later in the movie where the couple is split up for whatever reason, and this is like their big reuniting, right?
Okay.
So this young woman's on the subway, a guy runs on the subway, he's like, "Oh, I found you," and they start having this scene. Then there's other people on the subway that start chiming in like, "Kiss her," and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so it was me and a few other people. We're all playing these broad stereotype characters.
Okay.
And I am like a Japanese businessman. I'm in a suit.
Jesus.
And I have a briefcase on my lap. And I'm in a wig and like Asian makeup.
Oh, my God.
And then the sketch goes. And it's not like. And I did like an accent and stuff. I had like
what year was this?
Oh, this was 96, something like that.
Okay.
And the sketch was not this as with all the sketches that we did on that show, it spins off into another thing. So then it becomes about the five voices that you have in your head that guide you to what you need to do. And it's taken from these stereotypical characters that we're playing on the subway train.
Okay.
Right? But so I'm in this makeup. And let me tell you something. I forgot that I did that.
Right.
I forgot that ever happened.
Well, let me ask you this. Who wrote that sketch?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember. It wasn't me, but I was in it. I had no problem being in it.
And y'all were like a company of actors. Like you didn't bring people in and out or another. I'm not justifying it.
But here's the thing.
I'm just saying like what was the conversation? I was just curious what the conversation was.
There was no conversation. That's the thing. Is that we were an all white writers room.
Uh-huh.
Pretty much all white production staff.
Wow.
There was no one in that building
right.
who would have felt empowered to say, hey, maybe get a Asian actor to play this Asian part.
Right. Or yes.
For there's a thing about sketch where it's like, oh, rush. Wait, who's around? Whatever. Today, absolutely no way.
No,
like you wouldn't dream of doing it.
It just wouldn't even be pitched.
But to me, what's wild about it, and I will say this on the record, I'm sorry that I did that. I wish I hadn't done it. And I apologize to anyone who sees that now.
Sure.
Whether they're offended by it or not, I apologize. It's wild to me that there was no one there to check us.
Uh-huh.
We didn't think twice about it. It was like, yeah, of course. And you'll play the Asian guy. It was like, yeah, of course. Another one where a little later, and you were in this show in this same sketch, but not with this moment. A show called Root of All Evil, which was a debate show hosted by Louis Black. And it was a comedy debate thing. And it would be comedians picking sides on a topic.
And it was only out for like that one season or 2 seasons or something?
I think there were a couple seasons, yeah.
Okay.
And the idea was you were saying which is worse, this or this.
Right.
And so I can't even remember what the larger premise was of this particular episode. But we would do.
It's a good idea for a show, by the way.
Oh, they've tried it so many times. This is one of the few times it actually got on.
Yeah.
They've tried debate shows a million times.
I think it's a funny idea, premise.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
To see comedians
absolutely go
down crazy paths with things.
So part of the arguments you would have as the comedian making your case, we would have these filmed bits that we would do, and then we'd roll them in, and you throw to it. And so I did this bit where it was all about the slippery slope argument, and people saying this will lead to this. And so in my sketch that I wrote, it was somebody saying they're gay leads to a woman marrying a turtle.
Yes, and we got to be in the sketch, and I got to be in it, and so did my friend Joel.
And that's right, Joel.
Second shout out.
Previously mentioned.
Who invited me to
go
fuck
Joel
myself.
episode. Maybe we should title this episode Joel Spence. Let's do that.
You know what?
Yeah. That's the
totally
name.
gonna do that.
This episode is titled Joel
He'll
Spence.
get a kick out of that. He'll get a kick out of
So, so I'm talking about the slippery slope, and it's all these dumb conservative arguments about if we do this, then it'll lead to this, you know?
Yeah.
And so by the end of it, the idea was I was now in brown face with like a bindi on my forehead, because the idea was the ultimate, the slippery slope will lead to us being replaced by, you know, Asian people, by Indian people, whatever, immigrants. Yeah.
Yes. Like it was such a far-fetched version of the slippery. Like your political point was like.
The point is, this is how ridiculous you are.
Yes.
Is like you think this is what's going to happen.
Satirical.
Yes.
Satirical.
But when I think about it now, like back then.
In a way, though, that.
Hold on a second.
Yeah. Okay.
Back then, the thinking was, this is absurd. This is how these people think. This is like their ultimate horror or whatever. It was like it wasn't even like I was trying to justify it for myself to do it.
No, I get it.
It was like, oh, and this is the ultimate in this absurdity. When I think about it now, and let me say for the record, I apologize for that. I should not have done that, and I wish I hadn't done it.
I will.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
If I were to do it now, what I would do was, I would have an Indian actor play that part, and I would dub the voice.
Oh, that makes sense.
To achieve the same effect.
Okay, now I see what
to
you're saying.
say, if the absurd idea is you're so afraid of the slippery slope that it's going to make you not white.
And wear the same.
Yes, I would have him in my clothes,
Yeah.
you know, and overdub the voice.
I mean, on the one hand, you were doing satire, you know, like you're trying to make a political point.
Yeah.
The one in the I didn't see the other one. The Bob and David. Yeah. That was just a random just like a random they wanted an Asian.
Here's the thing.
They wanted an Asian character in that moment.
The motivation for both of them was essentially the same. Was like, we're doing satire. The point of it to us is not that here's a white person playing a different race. And the problem with that is that doesn't excuse it. Mm-hmm. That doesn't excuse it at all. Mm-hmm. It's that it never entered our minds.
Right. It was a different
because
time.
We're in a bubble.
Yeah.
You know, and Root of All Evil, kind of the same thing. It's like it was almost all white people.
It was like 2006 or 7 or something. Yeah.
But still, almost all white people. Nobody there to say, hey, you know what? You shouldn't do this.
You should do this differently. Yeah, you should approach this differently.
We're just like in our own unchecked whiteness.
Yes. I mean, yes. Yeah. But that's so funny to me because it is such a white male, straight male dominant. But like now I think comedy is being more inclusive in their writers' rooms. I mean, I hope.
No, it is. It's still got a long way to go, though. You know what I mean? Like a lot of places will count on one person of color to be the voice for all people of color.
I know.
And that's such a huge burden.
Responsibility.
And also you risk the glass cliff, you know, where it's like, you know about the glass cliff, right? Mm-hmm. Where it's like they put a woman, a person of color in a position they don't normally get. Then when something doesn't work out, they can say, see, these people can't do it. You know, we tried having a woman, we tried having a person of color, but it didn't work out.
Yeah.
But it's
the way that Hollywood approaches trying to diversify, like, you know, productions and stuff is very weird to me.
Well, it's always first it's mollifying, right? It's like it's bases covering so they can say, whoa, look at this guy. He's black.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then it becomes panicky.
Yes.
You know? And then it becomes eventually normal. But I don't think we're at the normal stage yet.
No. Hell no.
I think we're extremely slowly moving towards that. But here's what it takes. But like, and I'm not saying this is I'm not saying this is right. What it takes is a situation we're in now where people are making their voices heard, but it shouldn't take people to yell at us to make us change. You know what I mean?
I feel like I hate to say this, but like the internet has been an education for me, like in terms of how people feel about things and how we should be looking at things.
Yeah.
It's such a rapid fire way of learning other points of view. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like yelling and shouting and memes and sort of cheapening of certain arguments.
Yeah.
You know, and a lack of nuance. But even those experiences have informed more critical thinking, I feel like, in my daily life. I mean, I hope.
Absolutely.
I
agree. It's happened to me too. Like but
it's just something that didn't exist. Like when I was like growing up, like I would have loved to have known more about other people's experiences.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? I mean, that's all I craved. I craved it. Like I was like, I'm running off to New York.
Yeah.
And and it's like, well.
But it was not something, at least where I grew up, it was not something that was encouraged. It was not something that, there was no model for it. There was no model for it. There was no one else doing it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it took me a long time to find those people who were the models for that. And
for
who were
learning,
those inspirational people, as opposed to, here's what life is. It's us being this way in our little situation, and that's it. You know?
Yes.
Anyway, I think that's my fault. We got too heavy for our show.
We did?
I don't know. We've gone a long time without laughing.
We were talking about comedies.
I know. Does that count? If you talk about comedy,
do you
but you're
have
serious?
to laugh all the time? I'm saying, like, some people just want to hear the.
No, you don't. I don't know. I guess I worry that people, that this show was.
They want the
idea behind this show was.
They want the lightness.
Well, no. I think different people want different things. But when we started the show, the idea was this was just going to be like a silly conversational catch up, and you're like, we're all hanging out together as opposed to our takes on things, but
right.
Look, this is the world.
Here's my take on things.
Oh shit.
I don't have a take on anything. You know what my take is? You should form your own ideas and your own opinions, and you should educate yourself. Because I'm not going to give you my like point of view.
Here's what I say.
My point of view is just mine.
Here's what I say. Empty your mind, and the rest will follow. And all of you will be empty.
Empty your mind.
Yeah, get rid of everything in there.
I thought it was free your mind.
That's old. This is new.
So speaking
empty your mind.
I've emptied it. Trust me.
Consider it done.
So our sponsor this week is Ask Rana. We love the podcast with Rana Klickman and Brian Safi.
Yes.
And we were on an episode of it, if you would like to seek it out. But we also were given a very special gift this week by Ask Rana.
That's very true.
We were sent some of their special bespoke coffee.
This is such a weird thing when you have friends who have gotten into the coffee business by way of their podcast.
But I will say this. It's really fucking good, y'all.
It's really
good. Check out the podcast. We're guests on one of the episodes if you want to check out that episode because
but it's a great show and they have a lot of great guests.
Yeah, and it's an advice.
They're hilarious.
It's an advice show.
Yeah, and they have great rapport. They're both so funny.
Yeah.
So they sent us this coffee,
and we love it.
We tried the first one. We're about to try the second one.
Yeah, we tried Shades of Vanilla, and now we're trying the Cottage Blend.
Shades of Vanilla, which they have.
I think I'm gonna like the Cottage Blend better.
Carriage Blend, honey, Carriage House Blend.
Oh, Carriage House Blend. Sorry.
They had talked on the. I'd heard them talking up this coffee for weeks. Right. And they talked about this one blend is Shades of Vanilla, which is a catchphrase of Rana Glickman's.
Shades of Vanilla.
And the way they were talking about it, they were saying it's the flavor is so light, you're not going to believe it.
Like it's not a heavy-handed flavor coffee.
Yeah. And I thought, okay, that's just a name, Shades of Vanilla. And then when I smelled it, I was like, it smells like vanilla.
But it
and
smells
I don't
good.
like flavored coffee.
Yeah.
The flavor is such a hint.
Yeah.
I can't believe I like it.
It should be called Hints of Vanilla.
But that's not the...
That's not her thing.
It still works. I think as Shades.
What is her catchphrase, Shades of Vanilla, in reference to?
That's how her home is decorated. Her home is decorated in Shades of Vanilla. So the next one is the Carriage House Blend.
Rana Glickman is a fictional character. A real character.
People will figure it out.
She's
a real character.
She's played by this comedic actress who's a friend of ours who...
I don't know if you're allowed to do this.
Oh, I'm not?
She keeps it pretty separate.
But I just, like, she's my favorite actress.
And look, this info is out there.
She's my favorite actress.
If you want to find out who plays Ronald Glickman, that info's out there. We're not going to be the ones to tell you.
I'm not going to say who it is, but I'm just saying, like, she's like one of my favorite comedic actresses that I know. Like, I think she's fucking awesome.
All right, fair enough.
I'll say this as
another endorsement.
As a non sequitur, you might want to check out her latest movie, Desperado, on Netflix.
Fair enough.
For her.
Yes.
Yes.
Pay special attention to one character in particular.
My point is...
No, but Brian's in that movie as well. A lot of people that we know are in it.
The entire Asgrana podcast is in Desperado, except for us, and we were guests on
I think that
Asgrana.
movie led to them doing this podcast.
Oh, it did?
Yes. I think it did.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
I think they had known each other, but I think that's the first time they
became buddies.
They hung out like that. Yeah. Spent a lot of time together.
That's really funny.
Anyway, we got to go. Do you have any recommendations?
I've been getting into this podcast right now called Guru, and it is fucking chilling. It is about the dark side of enlightenment, and the story they're tackling is that guy who killed people in a sweat lodge. Do you know about that?
You know, that's so specific. I wish I could say yes, but I don't know.
Well, what I didn't know is that he was part of that movie, The Secret, that we talked about a few episodes back. And now I feel bad that I was like poking fun at The Secret, because now I found out this horrible tragedy sort of like
who could have known
arose around this self-help figure that was on Oprah like a few times and had these retreats that were like $1,000 retreats. Like, I mean, like crazy shit. Anyway, if y'all listen to Guru, let me know. Also, the only other thing I've been doing this week, besides trying not to lose my mind, is auditioning for things I won't get on Zoom, which is fine.
Well, not just on Zoom.
Or Blue Jeans.
Blue Jeans.
Blue Jeans.
The worst name. You know, you could do it on your Blue Jeans.
And then...
Did you know your mom set up a social networking platform called Blue Jeans?
Mom Jeans?
Dungarees.
All I know is that, okay, fine, I've proven that I can do this.
Yeah.
Listening to every Mary Trump interview or reading every Mary Trump interview.
That's right.
And playing the Chicks album on repeat.
In heavy rotation. And
formerly the Dixie Chicks, they're now the Chicks. They have a new album called Gaslighter, and let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something. This album is about Natalie Maine's, the lead singer's, divorce.
Yeah.
And holy shit.
She has a lot to say about it.
Like, that was a hell of a fucking divorce.
Yeah. It's a good album.
So really I'd say check it out.
Yeah.
What are your recs, babe?
I want to recommend...
What's your recs?
Open Mike Eagle, who is a great hip-hop artist, has a new podcast called What Had Happened Was, where he's interviewing legendary hip-hop producer Prince Paul, and each episode is about a different project that Prince Paul has worked on over the course of his career.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I
love Open Mike Eagle as a person.
He's fucking
He's
great.
like a really cool guy.
He's a really cool guy. I've worked with him a bunch.
Nice guy.
Yeah, he's a super sweetheart. But he is such a great host, and Prince Paul is such a great guest. It is I've tweeted about it, but it is every episode I love it.
I'm gonna check that out. Actually, I didn't know about it.
Yeah, start from the beginning because it's still pretty new, so you don't have to it won't take long to catch up. But it's really informative. It's a fascinating history of hip hop of the time. Mm-hmm. But also it's really fun. Like they're fun together. Uh-huh. Prince Paul has really funny stories. And their rapport is fantastic. It's a great podcast. Like it's a good one. I'll take a walk around the neighborhood and listen to it.
Yeah,
it's really enjoyable.
So like I sometimes get behind on podcasts because I'll only allow myself to listen to an episode if I'm actively taking a walk.
Right.
and sometimes I'm not actively taking a walk.
Sometimes that happens.
Yeah. So
And
I
also,
just had the craziest memory.
we have to hold that memory. We also have to jointly recommend The Bureau.
We did. I think we mentioned it last time.
Did we?
About The Bureau.
Not the French version of The Office, which is actually called The Bureau.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's about the French CIA. I think we mentioned this.
The Bureau of Legends.
The Bureau of Legends.
Yeah.
I want to be in the Bureau of Legends, like, so bad, but also not, because it looks really dangerous.
I want to be one of the people that checks the computers.
I think I would be a good handler because, yeah. Wait, I just had the craziest memory of something because I don't know what it came to me. But we do you remember when that article was going around in 2006 about some kind of secret supper club where they ate exotic animals? And it was
yeah, I do kind of remember.
It was
this,
viral before things could be viral.
Yeah.
And it was about this exclusive.
They ate a penguin or they ate a baby.
Yeah, and then the ultimate was they gather in these secret dining rooms and these famous chefs prepare endangered species.
Yeah.
Prepare.
Do
you remember that?
Yes,
and
I do.
They were they would gather and it would be the who's who of Hollywood, and but it was this secret club, and you'd go and then a famous chef would make I don't know,
roast penguin.
and then people freaked out, they drew the line at the baby or something.
Yeah,
it was
there
a
was a
human
rumor.
baby.
I remember reading about this in the LA Weekly.
It was the Weekly. It was the Weekly. It was only in the Weekly.
Yeah.
Which was I guess it's still around, a free newspaper in LA that you used to pick up at different coffee shops and stuff. And for some reason, I just was remembering that and how people are probably having weird secret COVID parties.
Yeah, so I want to recommend those. I want to recommend secret COVID parties where you can eat a baby.
A COVID infected baby. Oh my God.
Oh,
Sorry.
the fuck? Well, that'll put a cork in this episode of Stay F Home Kids.
You know what? I would never. First of all, I thought that was real at the time, that article. Wasn't it meant to be kind of thought as real?
I can't remember if I don't think the whole thing was fake. I think that parts of it were.
No, I think it was fake. Really?
I can't remember.
Endangered species?
Well, no, I'm not. What I'm saying is, I think that the article was about also the rumors about it.
It was
where they were doing things that clearly nobody was doing.
Yeah.
Not that the whole thing was a joke.
It was a crazy.
It wasn't an April Fool's prank.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't an April Fool's prank. It was yeah. Someone, whatever.
No one was eating a baby. Anyway, we got to wrap it up.
That's our episode, y'all.
Thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening to all of the stupid decisions we made in our past.
Yeah, right?
Involving our career.
That we didn't think twice about.
Fucking stupid.
And now we're thinking 4 times about.
And now we're what?
Yeah, I know.
How did we get carried along? Okay, whatever.
It's a different world and we're better off for it. Thank you for listening. We are at stayfhomekins on Twitter and Instagram, and stayfhomekins@gmail.com if you want to write to us.
Everybody, please take care of yourselves.
Please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other.
Try to keep hanging on to some kind of hope and optimism right now.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things going on right now that are very dark and sinister and can make you feel like evil is winning over good. Imagine Star Wars. Star Wars, the evil doesn't win, right? I don't remember Star Wars. Does it? How does it end?
Basically,
the good is better than the evil.
There's every other movie, evil wins.
Shit, is that what we're living in?
That is kind of look, Star Wars. The odd numbered movies, good wins. The even numbered movies,
Evil wins.
Well, we just finished. Guess what? We finished an Evil Wins Star Wars, and we're heading toward a Good Wins Star Wars.
Exactly.
Oh wait, I had one more plug, which is
okay, go ahead.
this podcast I was on called Sam Pancake Presents the Monday Afternoon Movie.
Good plug.
Please listen to Sam Pancake Presents the Monday Afternoon Movie because we analyzed this movie with Olivia de Havilland called The Screaming Woman.
Yeah, TV movie. It's Sam Pancake is hilarious, and it's a really funny show.
Sam Pancake is fucking awesome.
Yes.
He's funny. Okay, that's all I have to say.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. In the meantime, stay safe, stay sane.
Did I say stay safe twice?
You may have.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Shit.
Let's see what happens this time.
Stay safe, stay sane, and stay